But yeah, reading the opponent is something that it's something that's hard to do in Dawngate sometimes. I mean, there's a lot of things that have, you know, a wind-up time or a cast time or a channel time so that you can kind of react to them coming. But some of the instant type things, kind of like a Zeri silence, a desaturate. Like, how would you read that Zeri is going to walk up and silence you, for example?
Part of it is like seeing how they're playing, like a lot of the very early parts of the game, like once they get that skill, because I usually get the spatter first, and then I level up the desaturate second.
Right.
And I already know, like, innately just like what the range is on that, and it's actually a little bit smaller than her auto attack.
True.
So she has to walk further up before she can even do it. So things to kind of look out for, that is going to let me know that she's going to do that, is if I get hit by her spatter,
right,
and she auto attacks me and then runs forward. I know that she's going to be trying to do that. If she lands a spatter at all, I'm going to be trying to run away from her as she's getting a little bit closer.
Exactly, because not only is the spatter going to slow you down, so it's easier for her to approach, it shreds the MR, so the desaturate hurts more.
There's that, or if they're just like throwing out the desaturate every chance it's on cooldown, you can always tell that they're going to be coming up like as they're auto attacking or get a little bit further in range.
So if you know your opponent hits the desaturate on cooldown, you can kind of just time it and figure out when it's coming.
It's just kind of figuring out, because everyone has a certain pattern, it's just how complicated that pattern is,
right,
for how they do their abilities.
So that's actually particularly important when playing as Ronin, because of his W skill injection. It'll remove crowd control effects from you, but you can't use it while under the effects of stuns or silences and things of this nature. So being able to read the opponent is extremely important when playing Ronin, as we see qSoonish going to try to do here.
It's like that's huge for Ronin, like, because if you mistime that at all, it's just a CC that you could have gotten out of. Like Ashabel is another one that reading your opponent is like really crucial for. As you can kind of tell with a lot of these guys, like Basco, like with his ultimate, if he just you can also read like if somebody's gonna like blink away or if they're gonna like just move away, you can just grab that, pull them up forward. Amaranth was kind of shown a little bit by SuperSugoiKawaii, and throwing those bubbles out and figuring out where they're going is also like another way of just like you trying to figure out what their movement pattern is.
Right.
Because a lot of times you can react to those skills, but it's not set in your mind to go ahead and do that.
Right.
I shall watch with great interest, darlings.
Okay, well, we're in the game, so let's go ahead and introduce the players. I'll do Mortal if you want to take Spirit, Jimber.
Good.
Looks like we've got Abzol picking up the Hunter Basco. Sintackz will be picking up the Gladiator Ashabel. And we have Siifoo picking up a Tactician Kensu. Steel will be playing our Gladiator Ferris. And then we have Obi playing the Gladiator Nisa.
Shall arrive in 30 seconds.
All right, and then we got Dragon on Glad Kindra. We got qSoonish on Glad Ronin. Cinni on Glad Kel. Paradelton doing that Hunter. Oh, it's Tactician Kel.
Yep.
And then Hunter Volek by Paradelton, and then SuperSugoiKawaii on Zeri Tactician.
Now we have SuperSugoiKawaii looks really in trouble there. I'm surprised that so I guess did Steel take reconfigure level 1, or has he not taken anything yet? Oh, he took flashback level 1. I was gonna say if he took access memory level 1, I think Zeri might have been dead there.
I think if he had gotten that reconfigure, I think Zeri would have gone down a lot more. I don't think the access memory does that much damage at level 1.
Well, the thing is, he had Siifoo with him, who's got the slow arrows, who can keep him in it a little bit more. I mean, to be fair, the ranged form of the access memory actually does more damage if all the hits land. That's the big caveat there. If they all land. Uh-oh, looks like... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, looks like we got this haste invade.
Yeah, and...
Red sees it, just kind of can't do too much about it, though.
No, definitely not. Are they going to give the Nisa a little bit of solo farm when Sintackz comes in? He'll land a little bit of early harassment. My God, this is probably one of the... This is a really annoying lane, the Nisa Ashabel. Just simply because they can just land so much poke on you, and you've got one melee in the lane if you're Spirit Team. And that's just ain't going to be... Not going to have a fun time.
The only problem with that though is like once you hit 6, it's really hard for Nisa and Ashabel to get away. Like Ashabel does have her like unleash in the storm wall. But that's about the only thing that she can do. Whereas Kel does have his Titanic charge, and Volok can just come in afterward with like that solid CC that Kel gives.
Well, the other thing about Kel is that he actually has 2 charges. He's got his Sheep Toss and the Titanic charge. So Ashabel can knock back one, and she's just going to eat the other.
Or like he can also go on Nisa and just like she can't even like the chase is good in certain circumstances if you can read the fact that if he's going to Sheep Toss, he's going to go in and Battle Cry.
Right, but the thing is, the chase only gets rid of, only lowers the effect of slows. It doesn't do anything against stuns or knockup sets. Kel actually has both a stun and a knockup, so he can lock you up for a good long time.
As long as Cinni and Soonish can live to like level 6 while farming decently, they'll be completely fine in this lane. Yeah, but then again, it is Ashabel. True. That Gale on a 3-second cooldown is still a lot of damage coming out.
Yeah, and particularly as Ronin, you really don't... I mean, you've got on the house, yes, but that doesn't do any damage to speak of. In order to do any real damage, you've got to go up in the auto-attack range. And Ashabel can pop you from like 2 auto-attack range. Abzol just gets caught out completely, surrounded by 3, and Volok will just chop him down. Actually, I think Dragain picked that up on Kendra, actually.
That was a little bit greedy. I don't know if I would have opted to go off all the way to that Ugger.
No, I don't think he should have either. Reason is he was... Spirit Jungler was already ahead. I mean, Abzol was already ahead. He got the haste steal. Him dying like that just negates the advantage he got on the haste steal. Uh-oh, Siifoo getting real low. Drain going down. Dragain going after him. Siifoo's going to have to blink to get out of here. And looks like everything will reset.
Pings are going out for that power buff.
Yeah, Volok's right on top of it. He's going to get chased down. Oh my God, Paradelton.
So
and just like that, Mortal Side takes it right back.
Yeah. Paradelton did get the power buff, but they got his butt. So, butt is greater than buff. Just remember that, guys. The buff isn't worth it if you lose your butt for it.
Unless it's level 1, because that or for the first clear, because that first clear of those buffs are a straight level for the jungle.
True.
So having those taken away is very devastating. I think that at that point though, Paradelton was in a good enough position where it was a good choice. I think he probably should have started running a little bit earlier.
Probably. Wow, Kel
Steel getting real low.
Yeah, wow, Steel, you're right. Yeah, he'll have to go back from that. Cinni going up, trying to land a Battle Cry, but he's going to eat so many Gales from this here. My gosh, yeah, they're just going to have to sit back at their binding. And once they hit level 6, maybe Cinni and Paradelton can make something happen with that lane.
Victory cheer!
Oh, speaking of Paradelton coming in, here we go. There's the, oh gosh, it was a good clutch dispel, but it may not get him out. No, it sure doesn't. Abzol coming in from behind. There's 2 low health with an Ashabel and a Basco. He'll jump in. Where's the Unbreakable? There it is. Ashabel may be able to clean this up. qSoonish is really low. One more Gale should be able to get him, but he gets out of range smartly. Paradelton tries to go on Sintackz. Gonna eat a Storm Wall, but he's gonna keep chasing it down. Cinni and qSoonish way low here. That's a double kill waiting for Abzol, but maybe not because Paradelton and SuperSugoiKawaii come in. Rotation from Siifoo. and Steel, and oh my god, what is this fight going on right now? And Siifoo is in the middle of 4 people. Titanic Charge goes down. Down he goes. And then Steel just decides, you know what? I just walked in the wrong part of the neighborhood. I'm getting out of here before somebody beats me up and takes my wallet.
I definitely feel like Absol could have gotten that double kill had he just stayed on to qSoonish and Cinni. But instead he's decided to run away, just opting to not continue that fight, where like he didn't quite see that his whole team was coming up.
Yeah, I mean, if he went out for those kills, it might have cost him his life, I think. But then again, you know, 2 for 1. Hey, I'm okay with 2 for 1. And there we see the 2 assassins going up. Questionable Final Protocol, because it doesn't really do a whole lot of damage on its own. Meanwhile,
I would have saved that. Maybe he was just thinking to get a little bit more damage out on there.
Well, the other thing, though, is that Dragain no longer has to worry about getting low health against the Final Protocol. Because when Final Protocol gets on you, it's going off. I mean, you can split with somebody else, but you can stasis it. But Blink doesn't help you, Dispel doesn't get rid of it. It's either stasis or you gotta eat it, essentially.
That drain isn't going to really help too much.
Not
with
really.
That.
Oh, there's the tailwind, but Sintackz is already slowed. Here comes a sheep toss, quick sweep up, and yeah, goodbye, Sintackz. Although Paradelton will pick him up. All right. Ugh, man.
Great blink from qSoonish. He decided, like, he went ahead and got out of that Heaven's Wrath just at the nick of time.
Well, it's Wrath of Heaven, but who's counting, right?
Oh,
Abzol getting really low, trying to get the 2 double kill. He got 1. There's Cinni, and wow, he's not going to eat a binding shot. Clean double kill for Abzol. So that's an extended 1 for 2 in favor of the Spirit team, and I guess they're posturing around Parasite. Oh god, if they get Siifoo, that's going to be a Parasite for the Mortal team for sure. Everything's going down. He's got the Mortal Strike debuff on him. He'll go down there. Steel looks to be next, and they should turn around and grab a Parasite out of this, unless they want to push this lane. I don't know. What do you think, Jerry? What do you do? Do you go for the binding? Or do you go for the Parasite here? Oh,
I would go for. I would have gone for Parasite. The binding is at, you know, it's very healthy. It's 99%. You did take out 2 of them. You had your whole. I kind of respect the decision though, because you did have your whole top lane, like all the way back. They weren't anywhere near to contest it, and that would have made it a 3v3, where where Spirit side was a little less healthy.
Right, because of the Parasite.
I think trying for the Parasite would have been a better option. But I do respect not going for it, because Mortal side still had their jungler up, and he still had Vanquish, so it would have been a toss-up for who could Vanquish steal that.
True. Well, and if we just look at the levels here, well, I mean, Bullock's 9, Tabasco's 7, so
anything can happen.
That is very true. But I think the only person who would be able to stop Bullock from vanquishing is Basco with stun. And he'd probably use that just to initiate the fight, and he wouldn't have to save it to stun Bullock when it's time for the vanquish, so.
It also comes down to player skill. And like Basco's onslaught does come up on a shorter cooldown. I mean, it's right now what he's sitting on is like 8.7.
Uh-oh, there we go. They're gonna jump onto Obi. Good Dispel comes out, should get him out. Final Flag comes out, but no, qSoonish willing to dive the binding. He'll take 1 shot for his trouble, but he gets a kill. I'll take a binding shot for a kill any day of the week.
Reckoning and Bolt just doing so much work for qSoonish.
Uh-oh, and Sintackz looks like he's caught up here. Sugai's going to come around and rotate up, but Sintackz looks ultra dead. No, never mind. A good storm wall into a Pasco jumping into their faces is going to disengage that, and Sintackz will get out of this. Unless he decides to stick around. Bro, why are you sticking around? I know there's a lot of experience here, but, you know, there are 3 bloodthirsty shapers on the other side who see a yummy Asheville snack.
Another thing to note is Paradelton is currently doing Parasite by himself.
Well, the thing is, though, that Mortal Team sees
Void Breaker coming out.
Oh, the Vanquish. The fear comes off just in time. Paradelton dies for it, but Parasite for a kill, worth. And Siifoo, oh, he's going to get collapsed on by 4 people. No, never mind. He might get out of this. Oh no, the Shadow Step up onto the jungle camp. Here comes the Wrath of Heaven. They'll drop the slow onto Dragain, and maybe Siifoo gets out of this. No, the spatter lands, and Siifoo knows he's dead.
Perhaps I shall watch this.
When Siifoo took that route into haste, it was pretty much over because they lost vision on that top lane too, and he just knew they were collapsing. So it just came down to who could, like, how long he can take time off of.
Does Obi get out of this, you think? Nope. One more bolt and an auto attack. Nope. qSoonish just gonna smack him. Dragain, oh my god, Dragain is doing so much damage right now. In fact, he's gonna be able to 2v1 this if he wants to. Well, maybe not under the binding, but Steel recognizing that, you know what, I can't do Dragain right now.
Kindra is very scary, especially with that destruction and like the Will. Will does an amazing amount of like magic resist and just making sure you get a little tankier towards that.
Yeah, for sure, and particularly, I mean, he's got 1800 Vim. He could turn that Will into, say, a balance, get even tankier, you know, get even tankier while the team fight goes on and get even more flat pen. In fact, Dragain's going back right now. Let's see if that's what he gets. Siifoo, good guess, but it was the wrong. You knew he was back, and you didn't know where though. So, Abzol comes in. He's going to try to defend this binding, but it's nothing's going to happen here. Well, I don't know. Is he going to get there in time? Yeah, he will. But he's too low health. They're going to jump on as soon as here comes Siifoo coming in for the top. I don't know what's going to happen here. Uh oh, Paradelton comes in, fires off the damnation, deletes Obi. Here comes, I don't know, Siifoo get out of this. A Void Breaker, very short Void Breaker going to land on the city. There's the slow kill shot. Wrath of Heaven comes down to slow him down even more. Uh-oh, Curse of Weakness, spatter, goodbye.
Perhaps I shall watch this.
Don't get hurt.
Wow.
I definitely like the amount of mobility that comes from the Spirit side, because like the Volk isn't too mobile, but he tends to like get blitz, you know, get a little bit more of those haste items. And then Zeri's a fantastic utility support, so just putting Muse on any of them, like even just putting on Kindra, putting on somebody, it just helps out the whole team.
And not to mention the extra health in your pocket that can't be Mortal Striked away.
Back up.
Right?
Away!
And like just prismatic vortexing like on top of like Paradelton on Bullock or on Cal, just draining everybody else's power while they're just going to be in on top of them.
Right. Oh, Parrot. Oh my gosh, what is going on over the Spirit? They're fighting over a locked Spirit Wall right now. Abzol was jumping on the Kel. That's probably not who you want to fight first. Good, oh, Tailwind's coming out, but is they going to use that to chase onto Cinni? Yeah, they are. They'll jump onto him. Oh, good uprising down. Down goes Cinni. And, oh boy, this looks to be, okay, well, they'll get 1 kill back, but that was a 4 versus 3. And come on, somebody kill Paradelton. Thank you. I was going to say, don't let him get away. And Qsooonish should go down here as well. I don't see him getting out of this as well. I don't know. Well, there's the blink and a dispel. Well, I guess he had something on him.
Off of it. Yeah. He probably still had a haunt still on him from Kensu's autos.
Yeah, probably. Uh oh, Dragain coming up on the Steel to say, hey bro, let's fight.
Steel not having any of that though. He's definitely just gonna back off.
I love this new magic resist icon that shows. Oh my god, qSoonish, you know the sad thing though is that he was not standing on a ward. That was blind.
You know, I gotta give it to Siifoo because like just like there's always somebody in that bush.
Right. Well, with Sintackz that nailed him.
Oh, that's true.
Dragain posturing 3v1 against the Mortal team in the Parasite Pit. Thinking about it. Well, maybe because, oh, here comes Kel. There's the sheep toss in. No, nothing's going to happen here. Looks like they're just going to poke each other a little bit and just, you know what? Let's do the hokey pokey and turn yourself around.
Both teams are not sure if they want to commit right now just because they don't have that vision on all of the enemy teams.
No.
So they don't know where Volk is, they don't know where Ronin is, whereas like Spirit Side had no idea where Steel had went, and they had no idea where Absol was.
Yep. Oh, there we go. Titanic Charge down onto Obi. Gonna go ahead and delete Nisa real quick. They'll jump onto Steel. Goodbye, Steel. That should be... Oh, no. Well, at least the power buff was protected, at least. You know that much. Siifoo went ahead and grabbed that. Oh, Dragain found Absol. And I don't like Absol's chances here. You know, 13 versus 10, and there's the Prismatic Vortex. With the drain down on Absol, I don't think he gets out of this. No, he certainly doesn't. Good Storm Wall to knock away Dragain. Make sure doesn't take his life. And while all that was happening, Paradelton was soloing the Parasite.
Yeah, Absol just doesn't have what he does not have either health or magic resist to deal with Kindra right now. Looks like Siifoo's doing some jukes,
but you're not going to juke with the middle of 3 people. Oh, well, maybe you can with Throw of the Hunt. And he blinks there. Okay, yeah, there was the blink and a shadow step, and there we go.
Glides betwixt their foes. Lovely.
See, this is what you use blink for. You use blink to make the aggressive plays. Because particularly with the prevalence of duress, you can't blink while duressed at all.
The spirit dancers.
It locks you down, and you're not able to use anything other than dispel.
Right, and that's why if you're looking for something to get you out of trouble, you know, late game, you know, blink is not your get out of jail free card. Dispel is your get out of jail free card. Well, unless it's like Ferris, and then you need stasis to get out of that. But
yeah, blink is a good level 1 spell for most of the carries, for the range carries. However, I don't like the Tailwind pick on Siifoo. I feel like having Blitz or Dispel would have just been a lot better for him.
And you know what? We're talking about all this here. We have never had a chance to go through items the entire game. That's how crazy this has been so far. So let's go through items real quick. Looks like we'll start on the Mortal team. We got Basco. Looks like we got an Ambition of Form sitting on 1200 Vins. We got 2 basic items of Will and Life. Ashabel went ahead and rushed to Decay first. Now that's interesting. Not a normal pickup on Ashabel. What do you think about that? I mean, the only person I can see on the other team who might build a lot of health... Oh, it's for the Zeri. That's why. For the extra health from the Prismatic Vortex. That makes sense now.
There's that, and Ashabel gets a whole lot out of the Decay, too, because she's constantly doing... Like, her DPS is a sustained DPS, and so that Decay proc is just going to keep applying and applying and applying. So it's kind of, like, overall, it is just more on top of that. Whereas, like, someone like Kindra or Ferris don't necessarily need that because they're going to try and assassinate somebody.
True. Whereas you don't want to, you know, damage over time. You want damage right the heck now. Speaking of damage right the heck now, Dragain was taking a lot of damage right the heck now. And Cinni comes in with the Titanic Charge and landed on 2 people. And goodbye, Steel. But I don't know, does Cinni get out of this? He is really slowed up here, but he's really, really tanky. Here comes the drain down. Here comes Soonish to come in. He'll pick up Siifoo. Nice use of the Storm Wall by Sintackz. He'll go ahead and get one person out. Abzol will jump down onto Cinni, and I don't really know if the camera should be following chasing a Basco, because, you know, chasing Basco is usually a bad thing. I'm more interested in Soonish down here chasing down Ashabel. Yeah, there goes the Bolt to grab that. He should be able to pick up a second one here with Obi. Bolt comes in one more auto, but he's going to get stuck under the binding. Never mind, he uses an injection to get out of that. And that is a clean 5-man wipe.
That was beautiful positioning by QSoonish. He just, like, the whole time, he's just going in, chasing down target after target after target, while being aware of all of the other, you know, all those other shapers around. And then also calculating just how much binding damage can he take.
Exactly. Alright, well, since we were looking at Ashabel earlier on the items, we see that Ashabel picked up a Bell to go with it. And Cinni, well, there goes the Rebirth pop. He's going to have to use the... oh, God, he eats the Stormbreaker from pretty close to max range. But, man, Spirit Team is so low here. I think they got to get out of here, because that just looks like a Tetra kill waiting to happen for Siifoo.
The path is clear. The dancers move on.
They're playing a pretty dangerous game right there. QSoonish, like, there's some back pings coming out onto him. If he listens or not.
What are you doing, Paradelton? Oh no, he disconnected.
Does this not break your heart?
Oh, you gotta hate it when it happens. And of course, the in-team BM, Abzol getting the kill on Paradelton while he disconnected. You know they're gonna hear about that. That'll be definitely brought up in the next team meeting.
Most definitely.
Doomscore, but chasing Vasco is so fun, Kappa. Well, yeah, isn't it? Well, yeah, maybe if you're Moya or you've got.
If you're Moya, if you're Kel, if you have just as much mobility as him, then sure. Anybody else, not so much.
Yeah. Paradelton, I feel your pain, brother. I did that to myself earlier today, right when the stream started. Alright, so let's keep going on items since we got interrupted there by a big old team fight. Looks like Siifoo on Kensu. We've got an Ambition, a Clarity, and then 3 basics from him, a Life, a Will, and a Time. Bunch of blues on Steel. We've got a Desire, a Balance, an Aggression, and an Abolition. So once those get finished, Fair's gonna be a scary person.
I would have liked to seen a couple of those finished beforehand, though. Just he's not doing enough in these team fights. Like he just kind of opted for a little bit more survivability, less about like assassinating or even doing an on-hit kind of debuff build, which both are kind of common. It just depends on how you're going to be using him.
So you want to see, like, oh my God, Abzol steals it. Nice play by Abzol. He's going to give up his life for it, but that is completely worth for a Parasite. Actually, Obi tries to blink out of it, but Paradelton will pick up a double kill off it there. And here comes the rotation in. Oh my gosh, if they lose any more for this Parasite is not going to be worth it. That's 3 for a Parasite. No, that is no longer worth. In fact, that may just be the game right there.
Another thing to note, it was, you know, stage 2, so it still doesn't have the Striders on it. So it's,
right.
They're just going to be able to go through and still have that.
Oh my
advantage.
God. Did you see how much damage Paradelton did on the Steel with that one Curse of Weakness proc? Holy crap. What the heck does he have to be doing that?
He actually has 1 power, level 1. He's got Decay, Ambition, Justice, and Destruction.
Oh, Dragain, getting greedy. Yeah, buddy, the Locust Cannon is not your friend. That does 1,000 damage a shot, bro. And Abzol just trying to do something here to buy a little bit of time for his team, but he'll end up getting deleted himself. But Obi? Is Obi or Sintackz and Siifoo, can they do anything about this? They might be able to force them out of the base at the very least.
Oh,
nope,
okay,
never mind. Great Dispel read from Obi there. That was like perfectly timed to get rid of the Titanic Charge. But
still wasn't enough to get him out, though.
No, definitely not.
It doesn't
change
help
it, it's so cool.
Oh, super cool. Oh, man. It still doesn't change the fact that qSoonish just can, in a 1v1, will just take on Obi, no problem. He's just so far ahead of him.
Well, Pain, Resonance, and Force. Yeah, that does a little bit of damage. Particularly on Ronin, you gotta go, oh my God, Paradelton. Lockblue, please. And there's the 25-minute mark there. Oh my God, Abzol looking at a double if he can get it. Nope, he can't. There's the Tailwinds coming out, and that is going to be GG, I think.
Yes. Very nice.
Well, the thing is, that was a cool pair still by Abzol, but it ended up throwing the game. Then again, if he didn't go for it, they might have lost anyway. So.
Bravo, my darlings.
It was kind of a toss-up because they probably could have had a good team fight, like especially under Guardian with like the laser core coming down, like all of his abilities were still up.
I mean, wow, just look at the farm difference here. We have Dragain with 182, and he was up against Steel at 116. And then qSoonish, well, the difference wasn't so big, but just the kill difference coming out onto the Gladiators was, like, ridiculous.
Yeah, we still saw a 4K Vim difference from, like, qSoonish versus Obi.
Right. Yeah, you know what? We never really got a chance to go through everyone's items, so if you wanted to know what everybody built, here you go.
Ta-da!
Yeah. Sorry, guys. In fact, actually, my head blocks some of that, so if you guys want to see the names and the shapers, there you go, and then we'll switch back.